So why do you think there's a lot of increase in antidepressants and people like experiencing more chronic disease, chronic illness? Did we hear about chronic illness or chronic pain back in the days?
Look, I think, Ahmad, we are reaching a place today where it's too much on our system. It's becoming too much. Environment, nutrition, relationships, social life. Our system is not meant to live such life in cities with all the stress. So we are permanently experiencing a lot of triggers all the time from the surrounding, plus from our past, from what happened with us in the past. So our package is full, the cup is full, and we keep living, surviving.
Survival mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see a lot of people are dissociated from their bodies in my experience and in my practice. People don't know how to listen to their bodies anymore. There's so much in their heads, so much in their mind, too analytical. And then part of it because they rely on science and information, and they don't know how to listen to their bodies. So why do you think we lost the connection with our body?
And since childhood, we are very much disconnected from the body, from our roots, and we're all the time asked to first not to accept it ourselves, but to be something else, to do something else, plus to reach something, so goals, ambition, dreams, and put like always like use the intellect. The intellect is something like sacred in a way that it is. It gives you value. It gives that your value. So we're disconnected from the body, disconnected from our roots, unfortunately, and it takes again a path to move again this journey from the head back to the body. Yeah.
And there's a lot of I would say blocks that keeps us away from our body, right? There's like our traumas, our suppressed emotions, and the fact that we're not willing to see them, to face them, because it's too painful, right? So it's not easy. It's not an easy journey. But once we go through that introspection, it's gonna free us from the mind, and we will be able to listen more to the body, and listen more go back to our feelings, to the sensations, and be. I think the reason why once we start listening to the body, we will be able to intuitively know what's right and wrong for us, and what's good for our body and what's not good in terms of like what we need to eat, right? Every person is different, and there's a lot of like diets out there, and everyone is lost. What diet should I follow? But just listening to your body, you'll be able to know what to eat, what's good for you, what's not good for you, even the workouts. I mean, people also, when they're like experiencing burnout, they keep on going to the gym and, lifting weights. And it's just, I mean, they don't listen to their body. Maybe their bodies are telling them, just relax, take it slow, just a simple walk. I need just to walk today. It's fine. I don't have to go and lift weights and and yeah, just listening to their bodies. But there's a lot of obstacles that keeps us from not connecting with it. And I truly believe, in my experience, that suppressed emotions and traumas are the reason why we are so dissociated. Do you agree to that?
Yeah, this is one aspect of it, definitely. The body is always in the present. So whenever we connect again with the body, we are in the present. So we let go of everything of the past, of the future. And this is very challenging for everyone. It takes a little bit of awareness, of intelligence for the person to ask themselves if they are really living according to their own light, to what they should be doing right now. Are they really being themselves? It takes some awareness to come back to the body. Because again, we go into patterns, as you said, and we keep living those patterns unconsciously. So it takes some awareness for the person to understand that I am unaware, I'm unconscious. These are not my patterns. This is my conditioning. I have learned this. This is not my own understanding to life. And then to take the step to start your own journey. And as you said, the body knows. The body has all the secrets, all the wisdom. If you go back to the body, we are already in the present moment. If you go back to the body, we go back to our nature. It's this temple that gives us all the opportunities to discover the mysteries of life. Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that science cannot decode that wisdom yet. It cannot unravel it yet. There's so much, we're so much advanced in science, and that's good. It's making people aware, but they're still missing the body's inner wisdom or intelligence. And that's I think that has been unlocked for me once I started introspecting
Exactly.
and getting more and listening more to my body. So yeah, I mean, also science, I believe science is really good to establish like a baseline, a foundation, but it's not enough. I mean, I believe like the human consciousness needs more than just science to be able to experience this life and to be able to free ourselves from the habits and the patterns. I mean, if we want to do something new, we need to look at science.
Yeah.
What science tells us,
Yeah.
what science is giving us.
Yeah.
But it's not all about science. We rely on science so much that we forget to listen to ourselves. So there's so many factors going on.
Yeah. You know, one of the easiest thing that helped me a lot with this is to understand that there is an outer science and there is an inner science.
Nice.
Yeah. So both have two separate ways, two separate paths.
Yeah.
The outer one is more like, physics, chemistry, technology. The inner one is based on meditation. It has a totally different ground, totally different techniques and approach. And the only way to access that is through meditation and through this science. We cannot bring the outer science and understand the inner science. It will not happen. That's why we are still suffering till now to understand what is meditation, what is spirituality. It's an experience. It's something that has to be experienced, not to be not to be understood, not to be known. So understanding that there is an inner science, and people should know that I can balance my life between outer science and inner science, between technology, but there is also this inner technology, which I can have access to. And these days there are so many different approaches and ways to access that. It's much more available. More of them, many of them are good, are faster, are better than other techniques. But so many approaches are available today for people to start accessing again their inner. Yeah.
Do you think it's easier these days to go on this journey of introspection and self-realization? It's easier than before.
Definitely.
I remember you told me something about. I remember you told me something about before we had like gurus and teachers. They're the only ones who. But now each and everyone is their own gurus. Is that right?
Yeah. So there is in Japan there is this concept of Maitreya, which is that we are reaching a level where there is no more guru or a guide into your life as a person or in one specific place. So anything in life can be your teacher. Even a dog on the street, your mother, your friend, your neighbor can be your guru, your teacher. It's a beautiful understanding to what's going now in our evolution, because like if you watch people's lives today, they are learning from so many different aspects of life, not only from one person. And the second part is also simply our evolution of consciousness. So we are evolving also on consciousness level. So it's becoming much easier for humans to access like states or experiences much more than before, with much less need for tools, temples, or techniques and stuff, because it's the nature of consciousness right now to evolve into enlightenment. So
Mm.
we are naturally going there as a humans. That's why you can see now so much awareness in the world, so much awareness happening. People, okay, might be still living their unconscious, but many of them, they know that they are living their unconscious. They know that what they are doing is harmful to themselves and to the planet and to others. But there is some awareness that is still that's now arising in people. Many people take the challenge to change, but yeah,
That's very, by the way, relieving to hear and empowering for
Yeah.
people, just to tell them, okay, now you have the power to change.
Yeah.
It's easier to do that,
yeah,
and you don't have to keep looking and keep searching, because I hear many people telling me, I'm trying this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They keep trying, and maybe trying is the problem, right? Keep going and keep looking is like, it's a never ending journey. We know that there's always room for growth, but the fact that they keep trying and they think that there's something wrong and they can't do it by their own, and they always need guidance, and don't, it's, I mean, it's true. Of course, we need guidance, we need people, we need mentors, we need spiritual teachers to help us, to guide us, to free ourselves from our own suffering and pain. But I mean, it doesn't mean that we can't also find answers by our own, you know, and that's so relieving and empowering to hear, especially now that you said it's easier to access that.
yeah, yeah. There is in healing, there is also this concept that we need to do so much in order to heal.
Yeah.
We need to, I don't know, like heal our past lives, our inner child, forgive everyone. Da, da, da. There is so much. So if one looks at healing, they will say like, "Oh my God, in order to heal, I have to release everything. It's a lot to do. No, no, you know what? I'm gonna drop this.
I'm
job."
gonna reject it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the simplest of my teachers told me this, the simplest rules in healing, it's very, very interesting. He said, remove the idea that so much is needed to be done.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just an idea in your head. Because awareness, when you have a dark room and the darkness has been there for 50 years, let's say, for 100 years. Once you bring a light, a candle into that room, in a single moment, the darkness will disappear. So it's not about time that I need to do a lot of things for like a long period of time. No, you just bring the light, bring awareness, bring some love to what is right now, to this dark room, and naturally, the darkness will disappear and light will come. And then you'll be able to see what's inside the room.
Yeah.
And that seeing is a big transformation. Nothing will be the same after that seeing, because now you know what's inside, and you know that you are the one that is seeing this, and you can be just the watcher of this unconscious, of all these traumas, all these conditionings, all these blockages. They are there. They are like just like a wound, like a scar, but you are now the light watching this unconscious. Yeah.
And people struggle when we tell them just witness or see, because they're still maybe not able to see their own patterns, see their own.
Yeah, they maybe imagine seeing or yeah.
So how can they start seeing? How can they start seeing? What can they do to start seeing? Because I believe that's the first step to change something, right?
Yeah.
Is to be able to see, because people are so much lost
Yeah.
in their own patterns
Yeah.
that they cannot see it.
Yeah. You know, the mind plays the role like it's like dust. It covers your consciousness in a way that you cannot see what's beyond that. So yeah, any method, any technique that takes you beyond the mind or away from the mind is helpful. It's very helpful for you to start watching. But watching can be much more simpler than that, mostly for beginners. I would recommend a lot movements while watching, except rather than sitting, because you know many beginners they start by sitting, and it's very difficult to sit and to see the whole thing. So brushing your teeth, showering, walking, start by watching the body. Just see your hand moving, see your legs moving, see your body moving. This watchfulness, this seeing that, okay, I'm watching my hand, I'm watching my body. Everything that I see means that I'm not it. If I can see my hand moving, I'm not my hand. Okay, I'm the one seeing the hand. So starting with the body. The second step is to go with more the thoughts. If there is this thought coming to your mind, see that thought. Don't judge it or try to change it or fix it. Just see that this is a thought. I'm seeing it. Okay, I'm aware of this thought. I am not the thought. I'm the one who is aware of it. This is more refined. And there's even much more refined watchfulness state, which is to see even the moods, the changes, the emotions, which happen very fast. And it's a bit more challenging for us to notice that they are happening inside our body mind. So once we are able to see also the emotions, the shift of mood, then we are in a much more refined state of watchfulness. But again, to start with the body with very simple like exercises during the day, during our daily life is more than enough to realize that we are not the body. At least we're not the body. We are just living in this body and we are experiencing this body.
And you know, when we trying to make it easier for people to make them believe that it's not that hard to change can happen in a moment, right? And the fact, the very need for you, the desire for you to go and chase experiences and do this and do that, is the main reason maybe why you're creating that resistance, why the change hasn't occurred yet. Because I've seen people who really did a lot of work, but if you look at their patterns, they're still stuck in their patterns, right? And the reality of them and the patterns that they are experiencing in their reality. And a lot of people who didn't do a lot of work, but they're so good at interrupting and changing their patterns. And that's very interesting for me to see. And I think both we should be able to do both, right? We should be able to do both.
Again, I think the mind, Imad, is very deceptive. And many people, they think that, I made it. This is it. I did it. And this is, again, another thought, another pattern of the mind to confuse you. So imagine how much authenticity you need with yourself to sit by yourself and ask yourself, am I really present? Am I really relaxed? Am I really, let's say, in a way healed? Or,
just being honest with yourself.
Exactly.
Just being honest.
Because you deceive no one but yourself. You deceive no one but yourself.
And you know, it's funny because I always tell myself like I seek truth. I seek truth all the time, but I didn't realize that every time the truth came, I resisted it or tried to run away from it. And I mean, once we start to really see the truth and accept it, our truth, it's more scary than to see other person's truth, right? We can see other people's truth, or we can just see where they're stuck. It's easier for us to see where they are stuck, but it's more harder for us to see where we are stuck. And once we are able to shine the light in ourselves and accept it without resisting it, then we will be able to really make a major change and that. And we start to enjoy the truth. Not only not just. We start to enjoy it. I mean, give me more. You know, I used to resist it. I used to be afraid of it. But then I start to really enjoy it. When it comes, I start to see it, and I was okay. And sometimes I laugh, because when you laugh is when you realize something about honest, truthful about yourself. And I start laughing, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't see that before. It was so obvious. But when I started to see it and accept it, I just laugh. I was like, and then it's really like very fulfilling. It becomes very fulfilling.
Yeah, true. It's overwhelming.
It's like you achieved something.
Yeah, true. In a very strange way. Like you never imagine. Many Zen masters got enlightened simply by laughing, and they see them laughing for hours. Their disciples come to them, and they are just sitting there under the tree laughing for hours, because they see the absurdity of everything. They see that everything is a joke. It's a cosmic joke that's happening. But again, you have to realize it. You should not like, it's a cosmic joke. No, like it's like a real experience that happens to them, and then the laughter comes. It's also one sign of enlightenment. It's very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
And as you said, many qualities of when we are on the path of healing, there are many qualities that naturally happen. Naturally, we should experience those, which is feeling more joyful, more ecstatic, feeling more present, more relaxed. So these qualities, these criteria, if you find them in someone, you know that, okay, they did some of that job, let's say, they are experiencing something on the right path. Because again, it leads us towards our expansion of our happiness, our joy in the moment, in addition to relaxation. So it's very close to what's happening today in nature. You look at nature, it's very ecstatic. The birds are flying, the clouds, it's beautiful what's happening around us, and at the same time in a very relaxed way.
Yeah. Let's talk about emotions.
Yeah.
What do you think?
All right.
Because a lot of people, they still don't know what they are experiencing as emotions. They tell me, okay, I'm angry, fine, but they tell me, I mean, I'm depressed. I was like, calm down. You just jumped into depression. Maybe you're not depressed. Maybe you're frustrated. Maybe you're sad. Maybe you're, because depression should be diagnosed by someone. I mean, also we don't agree with diagnosis, right?
Yeah.
You're against that and labeling and stuff, because it creates it makes people feel that they
print.
So it makes people feel that they are this depression. It becomes their identity.
Exactly.
And when something becomes your identity, it's hard to dissociate from it and let it go. It's very hard.
It'll take more work to let go of it.
Exactly. Then when you see like, no, I'm experiencing depression or I'm experiencing anger, then you know, okay, you're giving yourself a chance to see and to know that it's not part of you. It's not you. It's just an experience.
Yeah.
And it's a phase.
Exactly. And at the same time, this is like a shift in our system. It's a natural shift in our system in order to adapt to a specific situation. So if we go through specific situations, our body, in order to help us to survive and to adapt to the environment and to that situation, it shifts its role and then it takes us into that specific state to adapt in a way. So once we understand, okay, that this is a survival program, my body did this in order to protect me. So my brain, my body are not creating these inflammations, these symptoms, these patterns in order to for me to be to die, but actually for me to survive. But we need to see the cause. That what's the cause? Once we see the symptoms and we understand, okay, there's a survival program happening now. There is a cause to it. Okay, and then here comes the work to know exactly what are the triggers, what's really happening.
Especially with anxiety. I mean, people don't know why they're anxious. Because they've been repressing or suppressing a lot of emotions, so many wounds, and they're not willing to face it because it's too painful, or they don't know that they also have it. So in my experience, I see that people are anxious because they have not done the introspection, and then they didn't face their emotions, and then they're repressing their memories, their emotions so much, and then they say, why do I have anxiety? I don't know why I have anxiety. The fact that they don't know, at least when they start knowing why they have anxiety, they start to accept it. And then they will be able to work through that. Anxiety.
There is a pattern in the society that we are not allowed to express our emotion. Okay, so first thing is we are so much now afraid of these emotions. We don't address them in any way. And second, we are not allowed. So a man cannot cry, a woman cannot scream. So emotions are like something like taboo. I think that's what you are sharing. So we keep you keep them repressed all the time, and they sit on our spontaneity. Because human beings naturally we have this divine quality in us, which is to be spontaneous, to be present all the time, all the time. And once we have a lot of emotions repressed on that spontaneity, we lose it. We lose our connection with the moment. And that's what's happening all around us. You see people who are not present all the time. It's not because they don't want to be present. It's simply because it's challenging. They are full in a way that they lost connection with that presence because of the repressed emotions and all the traumas that happen on their system. So understanding that it's possible for me to be present once I let go or I heal let's say these wounds, then it will give hope for us that okay, I really want to experience that presence. I really want to live every moment because the magic of this life and all the ecstasy that life gives you is only available right now in every breath and in every moment. So are we available to that? Are we taking the maximum out of this moment? That's the criteria for living. So if you ask someone if they are alive or not, right now, are you fully alive right now? Fully alive? Are you able to be open, available to every let's say, a stimulus around you, every sound, every breath, every move, and to respond to it in the present moment? That's the ultimate, let's say, state of living the moment. But again, we are not able to access that because of how much repressed we are. So, with your work, let's say, how do you deal with this? What would you suggest for people to start, let's say, from a doorway, to start accessing their emotions and to start, let's say, encountering this world?
I believe that when you do therapy, you need to apply what you're learning in therapy in real life.
Nice.
If you don't apply what you're doing in real life, then the therapy is just, therapy should complement what you're experiencing in life, right?
Yeah.
And that's much more practical. That's much more, it's much more healing when you can apply it. And when we do the emotional work, we are learning to witness our emotions, because people feel like, okay, till when should I keep releasing my emotions? It's not about releasing them, like literally releasing your emotions. You are witnessing them. You are learning how to witness your emotions and disidentify with your emotions. And by disidentifying with them, you're creating space between you and your emotions. And in that space, you can choose how to respond when the emotion hits you. So for example, when anger hits you, you can choose how to respond, consciously choose how to respond, because you learned how to create space between you and that emotion. So you become disidentified with it. So many people are stuck in their emotions. I've seen people stuck in sadness. I was stuck in sadness for long, and which is fine. It's like a journey, but eventually you need to learn how to disidentify with your emotions and learn how to witness them. So when you're done with therapy and you're done with the emotional work, you go back to life, back to reality with a tool, with an understanding.
That's beautiful.
Right? And then you can, it's constant. It's like automatic. You don't have to think about it. It just happens. And you'll be able to deal with these emotions in a better way. Right?
I believe that by and by this darkness start decreasing, and there is only awareness left all the time. So it's like, again, you have this whole big room of darkness, and the darkness starts decreasing, and one day there will be only light. So you will not have any space even to fall again into that unconscious.
And exactly, also you said something about society condemns someone who expresses their needs or their emotions, and in my observation, my personal observation, I saw that people are having a difficult time,
Mm-hmm.
difficulty with expressing anger,
Yeah.
and difficulty with feeling guilt and shame, because guilt and shame are the most are very strong emotions. So when they hit you,
Mm-hmm.
it's like too painful
Mm-hmm.
to feel. So they avoid them, even they repress. I mean, honestly, I've asked many women when I work with many women, and I feel like they're holding so much in their womb.
Mm.
That's so much guilt, right?
Mm.
And they also have gut issues, so that's also they're holding either guilt or shame. So when I ask them if you had any
Yeah.
miscarriage
Yeah.
in your life, they say no,
Mm.
and then suddenly they realize that yes, but they forgot.
Mm.
They repressed it.
Mm.
And they repressed that memory. They forgot it.
Mm.
Maybe they didn't forget it, but they were avoiding it so much.
Yeah.
And the key here is to re-experience it
Yeah.
and feel these emotions and face them again,
Yes.
so that you can really bring them into the light,
Mm.
and then you can free yourself from that guilt or shame.
Mm. That's the way. The way is always to go through what happened, to go through it.
Yeah.
Not to say, okay, no, it's done. I forget it. It's there. I'm fine. I'm good. No.
Yeah.
Again, be honest with yourself. Don't deceive yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, this journey is I mean, everyone is ready.
Mhm.
There will come a time where someone is ready to take this journey. We cannot just force someone
True.
to go there. Really, I've never. I think I've never forced someone to just go into that journey.
Yeah,
People are
definitely.
just when they knock your door,
Definitely.
you open the door
Yeah.
and you let them in, and then you help and support
Yeah.
them.
There's a beautiful saying that a real healer is not someone who guides you or someone who teaches you something, but he's someone who takes your hand and walks with you the path. He's more like a friend on the path.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Every time I'm growing as a therapist, and as I support more and more people, there's more humility that happens in the process, and more unshedding of the ego and more humility, because once you start to really believe in your gift and accept your gift, you start to become more and more humble
Yeah.
to share it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's beautiful what you said. That's true. And I always tell people, like, I'm not I'm not healing you. I'm just showing you, or I'm just allowing you to see, and I'm allowing you to heal I'm guiding you to heal yourself. I'm showing you the way. That's it. Or we're on the path to show you the way.
Yeah, we're both in the same boat.
Same boat.
Yeah, and there is no one like
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in therapy, I believe that, I mean, again, we talk about techniques. There's a lot of techniques out there, a lot of approaches, but truly what I saw that it's much more important is the psychic component of healing. It's the belief of the client, of the person, if they believe that they can heal, if they have faith on the therapist, if there's connection, deep connection, meaningful connection with them and their therapist,
if they feel safe,
if they feel safe,
can trust.
Exactly. That's much more important than the technique and the approach itself. It's 10 times more powerful if these components are present. And the rest is just easy. There's
a beautiful saying from Osho on this topic. He says that 90% of healing is a loving presence, and only 10% is just a technique. So the therapists just need to allow this loving presence to happen, and everything else will happen on its own. Because love is the most powerful healing power, if you want, in healing. If one receives love, that's enough.
That's true. The more the person receives, the more you are able to radiate that light. The more they can receive it, and the more they feel, the more the healing is much more powerful and a little bit, I would say, fast.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't take so much time. It's very important.
So let's go back, Imad, to maybe the need for today for each one of us to again to go back to the body, to learn about their health, about their body,
Yeah.
because these days are a bit challenging, difficult with everything that's happening on the planet with our lifestyle. So the need today for each one to learn again about their body, to accept and address their emotions, and at the same time understand that there is something called inner science, that I need also to address that part. I should not avoid being in meditation or looking for my presence or for my relaxation. So this holistic approach to health,
Yes.
it should be addressed again. People should understand again that yes, I can mix the conventional medicine, the science of conventional medicine, with other alternative approaches
Yeah.
as a bridge for my meditation. And by meditation, I mean my presence, my relaxation, my conscious living. So this is the path, mixing many things today, not only being in one part only, but mixing many things as a bridge to be able to live consciously. Take any tool, any technique that I can, that it works with me, but the end result is always about being relaxed, aware, and present in
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Human consciousness needs not only science, needs psychology, needs philosophy,
Yeah.
needs theology, it needs history, it needs biology, like all of this in order to reach that state that you're talking about, that present state, that meditative state.
Because if we are not present, then I don't think we are alive. We are simply like robots. We are functioning through our unconscious, through the patterns, and we're just wasting time.
Yeah.
So,
So much people are living in autopilot, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about the nervous system. Like how do we become stuck in it, and how we can get out of it?
Oh, it's a big question. It's a very big question. In simple words, we have the unconscious and we have the conscious mind. 90% of our mind is unconscious, 10% is conscious. So, in a way, from my understanding as well, even those 10% that we live through, that we know, okay, it's a table, this is a light, this is a microphone, these 10% conscious are also part of our unconscious. So that's the beautiful Eastern approach towards our human beings, that mind as it is, as mind with whatever it has inside, is still part of our unconscious. So the whole journey is to become what they call the superconscious, which means mastering the system, mastering the body-mind. And because science today has proved that body and mind are one, they are connected. There is no separation between your feelings, emotions, thoughts, and what's happening in your body. Okay, and vice versa, it's the same. So once we are able to master the system, to understand it fully, master it, befriend it, love it, and at the same time be able to master it in a loving way, then you can say that you get out of this unconscious patterns. Yeah.
So it's about bringing the unconscious to the light, to the conscious, and then
Exactly.
you become super conscious.
Yeah, the one of the ways can be whatever is there in that dark room. I bring light to it. I see it, and from that seeing, healing will happen naturally.
Yeah,
naturally.
You know, that's I think that's the root cause of like just bringing stuff to our awareness.
Yeah.
And that's the journey.
That's beautiful. I prefer to say awareness, instead of conscious, because again, conscious is part of the mind.
Yeah.
Let's say,
yes, we know that, scientifically, when you're stuck in fight or flight, your nervous system is stuck in that state, stress mode, or freeze state. You are living in autopilot, right? But we regulate the nervous system, and then we go back into a state of balance. But what happens when the nervous system is dysregulated again? So for in my opinion, do you think that by regulating our nervous system, we are prone to go back into dysregulation if we are not able to bring unconscious materials to our awareness? If we don't go to the root cause and we are able to do that.
The word nervous system regulation is a new word that has been used lately mostly from the somatic experience in school and then modern psychology. It's a beautiful word, but again, if you look deeper at it, it simply means going back to the body, going back to the present moment. That's it. But we change tools just to work with it in clinics or in sessions. So nervous system regulation is simply going back to the body, going back to the senses, going back to this moment. And the present moment, as all the masters and a lot of people have been telling us that go back to the present, go back to the present. But today, again, with like these exercises, somatic experiencing, we can speak about more about these techniques in our next episode. But all these tools, they help us, they support us again to go back to our body. To go back to our body, yeah.
And when you're in the present moment, you can integrate, you can process, right?
Yeah, in the present moment, there is no past, there is no future. So there's no worrying, there is no memory, there is no fear, there is no projections, dreams, ambitions. There is simply you living here the moment, alive, fully alive as you are. Okay, and if you bring a bit of love to this moment, then that's it. That's a loving awareness, and that's what we need. And more than enough to be able to take fully the juice of every moment, the nectar, the ultimate potential of every moment, to live fully every moment. And from living that, from doing that, this will bring much more joy and healing and relaxation to you. Because once you open this doorway of presence, the next moment will be more and deeper presence. That's beautiful saying also, that the moment, if you take care of the present moment, the next moment will take care of itself. Just take care of this moment.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to end this by sharing with you a story of forgiveness that I have experienced with someone, and just to say how powerful it is to forgive yourself. And it was about a lady. She's a little bit older in age, and she is experiencing a lot of. She had arthritis. And chronic arthritis. And after our session, she experienced, she went into her subconscious, and then she saw her child because she had a miscarriage. So she saw her child kissing her in her forehead and telling her that I forgive you. And then after that vision that she had, she was able to forgive herself and free herself from that guilt that was truly eating her alive and eating her bones, you know, and she felt so much better after years of suffering and years of pain. She finally forgave herself and freed herself from all of this because she decided to face that pain and face and go fully into it.
Nice.
And that's why it's important to introspect, and that's the power of courage as well. She was so brave to do that and go all the way and to that memory and face all the emotions and fully feel them and bring them into the light.
Beautiful. Nice. All right, so I'll end this with.
Are you sharing a story as well?
I'll share a shorter one.
Okay.
You know, I have this love to the old mystics and the Zen masters. So Buddha says that there are three jewels to the path, the journey in life. He says that these three pillars are the teacher, the teaching, and the commune.
The community.
The community.
Okay.
And one day, one of his students, he asked him, which one is the most important? Buddha replies, the Sangha, the community. So let's connect again, let's stay in touch and support each other, grow together and enjoy.
So living in communion is much more healing than
the support, the love that you can get from people who are working on themselves individually. The light that is shared in that community is simply a technique by itself of transformation. You don't need to do anything else. Just being around people who are going into the light, this is more than enough for a transmission to happen to you. And you'll find yourself vibrating on that light, and you remember that you are this light.
Beautiful.
Super.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you for your
It was
presence.
a beautiful conversation.
Beautiful.